Good morning and welcome to another episode of the Here Now videocast. Today, I'm graciously joined by Marisela Rodriguez, who is a wife, a mother, and a consciousness advisor.
Correct.
Right? And Marisela specializes in transcendental meditation, all the benefits and the power behind it. And today she's going to give us a deep dive into why, how, and her mission. Thank you for joining me. Lovely to have you.
Thank you so much, Lindsay. This is very, very nice. And thank you for inviting me.
It's
such a joy. And yes, I am originally from Mexico, as you were asking me.
I was going to go lead the way. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, so from Mexico.
Yes, I was born in Mexico City. Well, I had a nice childhood there. I studied hotel and tourism. Later,
you studied what, sorry?
Hotel and tourism.
Hotel and tourism, amazing. Okay.
Yeah, I've always liked, I've always been service oriented, I would say.
Okay.
So I was interested. Then I studied business administration, and later I pursued a global MBA.
Okay.
Yes. I was always searching for more. What's more? Then life took me into a fascinating journey from Mexico to the heart of Europe, Luxembourg. Very interesting and unexpected. Where I became, I got married. I became a mother of 3 beautiful children, and I built a career in administration and international finance. Yes, and on this process of being a mother, a wife, and working full time, I discovered also this very important thing, which is meditation. And yeah.
So before we tie it all together, I'll just ask you for a little bit of insight into you. Coming from Mexico, what is that like? I mean, to go from there to here, what is the transition? What was growing up like? And I don't know too much. I don't know so much about the Atlantic, across the Atlantic to the west. But was it?
Yes.
Was it great? Was it eye-opening? Was this spirit? We were speaking about the Day of the Dead before we started.
Right.
And the spiritual element behind that. And so I guess there's a lot of spirituality.
Yes.
Can I assume that? And can you tell us, for you growing up, and to tie in why the transcendental spiritual realm is your calling now? Was there something already starting from childhood, through your upbringing, from Mexico City? What was that?
Yes, well, I was raised in a Catholic family. In Mexico, it's big. Catholicism, and yes, I used to go to church every Sunday and like that with my family. But as I grew up older and I started questioning myself, certain aspects that didn't quite answer those questions.
What were you asking? That's interesting.
Yes, I was always very curious about what is reality. What is really, where does things come from? How does, what in the universe, the cosmos, what makes things move? All of these things, and even what makes dreams come true. I've been a person which I can say, fortunately, my dreams come true.
Oh, amazing.
And even better than I expected, I figured this out since I was very young, but I didn't know the mechanics behind it. So to answer your question, I've always been very curious, but I wasn't really meditating when I was in Mexico.
The church doesn't do that so much. I grew up religious too, so I can resonate with you there. But the church doesn't encourage meditation per se. Right? So was there a conflict starting in you as a child, teenager, with this calling? Because I believe, correct me if I'm wrong as we go, it's a calling. there's already something that's asking you to ask these questions from young,
Yes.
in contradiction to the religious kind of education.
Right.
So what is that doing for you when you have the religious dogma per se, not to judge it, I'm religious, but what is happening to you then? Did you have conflict in you, conflict in like in the parents, in the religious circle? How was that impacting
Yes,
you?
I think there's this dogma, you know, and obviously the people around me, I think they really don't know much about it, and so there's a belief that it goes against religion. But then when I started practicing meditation and started to realize the truths behind it, I came to this understanding that it's not about religion, it's a science. When you really get to understand what really, and the type of meditation that I practice, which is Transcendental Meditation, it's science behind it, and it's actually you get to understand the laws of the universe. So for me, once you get to understand that you actually can practice better your religion, it doesn't matter if it's Christian, if it's Judaism, if it's and you really get to understand more your religion because it's universal laws.
So this for you, as now reflecting and looking back, was something that you were adding to religion. It wasn't a black and white. It wasn't like religion versus transcendental meditation, which can seem very esoteric as opposed to religion, which is very stereotypical, more boxed, right?
Yes, it is. I see it more as a science. It is actually, as I said, it's a science. People can see Vedic text and literature as philosophy or as very abstract. Some people can even make art of it, all of that. It's nice, but it's actually science. It's the science of life. So I started to go deeper into it, to make more research about it, and everything that I already lived in experience. It's like I find the words to describe it. Something that I already knew. It's a knowing.
So even as a child, teenager, this was already there. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, this curiosity and this, I started reading the Bible when I was like already starting to be able to read. I started reading it and trying to find answers to question at that age. But how can you explain this? There are many things that didn't make sense to me. And even I asked my parents and they were saying, well, it's just fate, you have to believe. And these kind of things, I was never, I was never satisfied. So that's why I've always continued, in my questioning and finding all the ways that life was providing me with the answers, because that's how it works. Through other, life brings you the answers. It can be in a textbook, in a dream, in a synchronicity, because that's how life works. And that's the way I realized there's something more. And so I started, I discovered Transcendental Meditation. And
but you were always seeking the answers, right? Beyond the religious texts. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Did that have any conflict with your parents or society, or were you seen as different? Because it's not normal obey and follow the faith. It's more like challenging the faith in a way, right? Did that cause you any kind of disconnect or conflict?
Yes, well, in a sense, I was wondering. As I said, we used to go to church, for example, every Sunday. And after that, I could see people fighting in the street because, one
catch in front
of the other, and so on. And right after church.
And
I was wondering, well, what happened here? The message was not clear. Something's off here. Something's missing. So in a way, I didn't talk about it with my family or my parents, but it was just something, inside of me, and I didn't have the words to describe what I was understanding within me. I couldn't talk it with anybody because I when I tried, I realized nobody was there. They were like, "Oh, Marisela, you're in your own world," this kind of things. And then eventually, life brings you. If you're aligned with what your purpose is, life puts you in the right direction, and you start, finding answers to all these questions.
And just before we move on from the past, what would you say your relationship with you was when you heard comments like, "Oh, Marisela this and that," and did you still feel good in you? Did you have a love and a kindness for you, even if the environment was saying you're different, not in a good way, but
Yes, I always trusted that voice inside of me because it didn't make sense to me when I was, for example, in school and I could see some children lying, for instance. When I was at work later in life, I could see the same behavior. But now, apparently, with professionals, people lying, people trying to, to get in their way, but not taking in consideration the other people, like being just selfish. All these behaviors, I always thought this is not good. This is not aligned with the truth that I live inside of me, that I know it's correct. So, and eventually, and now it's super obvious, right? And
what is obvious?
Well, you can. I don't know if it happens to you, but I see people from my past now because of social media and like that. And some of the people that were like really, at that point I could see they had something. They are stuck in their lives, to say it in a way.
It's okay.
Some probably figure out that that was not the right way to do things, but it happens, and in nature is like that. When you're not, let's say, learning the right way, it's like life is going to be challenge you all the time and not letting you advance in whatever you want to.
So that you're seeing that as a misalignment between the soul and your actions. When you have that resistance and conflict, when life keeps making you be stuck, you're saying that's a misalignment between.
It's not that life is keeping you be stuck, but it's like for me, I understand challenges are for us to learn to grow. It's the way that life refines us to learn better ways, to be more aligned with nature, with order, with truth. And then we can grow and we can advance in our journey.
Yes.
Otherwise, it's like, it's just like, something that prevents us from seeing further.
Yes.
And it's not like that life blocks us in purpose, but it's like protection because, until you don't, it's an order. Until you don't learn certain things, you cannot, you have to evolve. That's,
And with that, and we'll move on now, is there anything you would like to say to the child version of you?
To the child version of me?
The Christian girl who was fighting to come out and be this version. Is there something you'd like to say to her, either for her courage or encouragement?
Yes, well, I would like to say keep on doing what you're doing. Trust yourself.
Trust yourself.
Trust your abilities and your heart. And continue being kind. Because And that's one thing I experienced in my childhood, that many people, they think that being strong and superior is being rude and making others feel less, like that. And I've always trusted, no, I think kindness is the way. Being patient, trying to understand the other people, what is in their minds, because they have a belief something happened to them, there's a conditioning in their family, somebody told them something, and that's the way they are reacting according to their level of consciousness. And it's nothing personal, it's nothing against me, or anybody. So I would say, Marisela, continue. Just what you're doing, it's fine.
Thank you. And so let's go on to, can you give us what do you want to do with the transcendental, like the skill, the art, the science? What is your vision for it here in Luxembourg? And you have international clients too, right?
Yes, well, I am on the path actually to be a transcendental meditation teacher.
Okay.
At this current stage, I am not yet, but I am a consciousness advisor, which is, well, as I was telling you, the path took me to learning transcendental meditation myself. So I started experiencing these truths, even more, like it was really an experience. And that led me to the Consciousness Advisor program. Yes, I started to think I need to share this with everybody that, that I love, and to the people I know. It makes us aware of so many things that are really truth. You don't need to read anything, you don't need to listen to anybody, you just know it by yourself, by experience, by going to the transcendent. And I will go there for a second to explain what it is. And so this led me to the Consciousness Advisor program, inspired by Dr. Tony Nader.
Tony Nader.
Dr. Tony Nader, he is a leading scientist in the study of consciousness. He's a neuroscientist.
Okay.
And he designed the program the Consciousness Advisor, inspired by his book Consciousness is All There Is.
Okay.
And this program is really, it's beautiful, it's structured, it is a 14-spoke model, and that looks into all aspects of life, like purpose, relationships, health, body, mind, the environment, and higher states of consciousness. And it is through knowledge and through technologies of consciousness of Maharishi Yogi, which is based on Vedic Science.
Okay.
So it's both, it's a mix of knowledge of Vedic Science with modern measurement tools.
Okay.
So that it is both experiential,
yes,
and measurable, the improvement in people.
And what is its objective? Like, what does it bring you to? What does it bring you either way?
Right. So with these technologies, the main purpose, let's say, how it works is that we get relief of stresses and strains, because in our daily life we always have things that accumulate in our nervous system. And so with these technologies, it can be transcendental meditation, it can be sound, Vedic sound, or light therapy with gems, or also the way we eat food. By eating consciously, we can understand what is better for us according to our physiology, and the seasons. And so there are many technologies that help us get rid of stresses and strains and aligns us better to the rhythms of nature. Therefore, we can live, and you will understand this perfectly, the here and now. Instead of being thinking in the past or in the future, having anxiety, depression, or regrets, we are present. And it's like a flowing, like an unfolding of joy, of happiness, health, and fulfillment. That's the purpose, fulfillment.
Which I love when you said that, because I think that ultimately is what we're looking for, right? The soul.
Right.
And most of us do it through the external world. So either through success, financial, emotional, like relationships. So one way or another, we're looking for fulfillment. But you're saying that using these tools, we find it more intrinsically rather than externally.
Exactly.
Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. Right? That's exactly.
To bring into awareness why even think about doing this, to give them clarity, because I feel it.
Yes.
But I would like them to know that we are seeking fulfillment anyway, but this way, with these tools and what you embody and what you teach and bring, it brings you a different kind of fulfilling fulfillment.
Yes, exactly. And this is very important for everybody, for every human. What I want to bring now here is for leaders in companies, for educators, for parents, for everybody that is leading someone, because if they get rid of these stresses that has been there for who knows, probably from childhood, then it opens up our perception, and we get more creative, more we see from another perspective the things. And so this is very, very important. It's like, for example, when the pilot is flying, it's flying, and it gets distracted for minor things, then the plane will crash. And so it's the same with us. Sometimes we have a project, because we all have like the Dharma is called in Vedas, and we get distracted by what this person said to me, and I replied this, and then he said that, and then everything crashes. Whereas when we get rid of all these details that on the long term are not gonna distract us from our path,
yes,
then things flow better. If you think for the common good of the people, then everything is better. So this is the main purpose, because it starts with the individual. If the individual is healthy, happy, in peace, rested, it brings that. It's a ripple effect, and it's like what is called the the ripple effect for society, for humanity, collective consciousness, right?
And so you're preaching, as we say in English, you're preaching to the choir. You know the saying?
Yes.
I'm 100% with you. How could you encourage people listening? How could you encourage them that, even though, because what I find the resistance with the spiritual path, the consciousness path, is a lot of people are afraid of it. So they stick to what they know, even if what they know isn't working. What could you say to them to get them to see that there's a way beyond the way? That even though they have their way, there is another way that brings you to a deeper fulfillment through this way. But is there anything you can bring us to say, yes, maybe you are fine, but there's a fine. Can I say that? You understand the question?
Yes, absolutely.
Because I see a lot of resistance in people in the spiritual world. How could you help us help them, souls, how could you help them to see that, yes, even though your life is a certain way, there is another elevation?
Right.
You see?
Yes, and we say there's the more than the most. Go there.
Oh, I like that, the more than the most. I never had that.
And that is because in this paradigm that I am working with, it's a model of reality that depending on the view world of the people, right, we can perceive things in layers. And so when you practice, for example, Transcendental Meditation, which is effortless, it's a very, very effective tool to go beyond the level of thought, which means you go to the source, to the more than the most, which is already everything. It's already everything there. You can call it the unified field, which is a term in science.
Yes.
It has been discovered, like scientists have realized that if they go deeper in matter, deeper and deeper, they find that matter is actually fields, waves of intelligence, and when they interact with each other and reverberate, they create what is the emergence of matter. So Vedic Science went one step further, like 5,000 years ago, and they discovered that this unified field, which they call pure consciousness. So in pure consciousness, which is outside space and time, and we try to explain things in terms of time and space because that's the way our system is created, right? But and for some people, it's actually kind of difficult to visualize it. But imagine a cosmic, infinite memory where everything is already there and has always been there. So if we start with this model from there, you can see that we are actually on a path, on a sequence. By choosing the right actions, it takes us, it's a consequence, it takes us to better and better, for evolution, for growth. So actions are always what generates further, what is called karma, but at the end of the day, the purpose is to grow in consciousness for evolution. So no matter which path or which act we take, it can take longer, obviously, if we don't do the right things, but we are all going towards union.
Yes.
So this is very important to understand, and that makes a whole difference with this model, because then you see, if I damage another people, if I hurt another people, if I block another people, I'm actually blocking myself. Yes, because I'm blocking my own evolution on realizing that unity is the ultimate purpose in life. So from this, I don't know if I answered your question.
You're speaking with such passion and knowledge. It's really, really admirable. And I think I'm getting lost in the information, and I'm trying to remember that I have to take you places. But I love what you're sharing. I love the science. I love the spirituality. With all this that you're doing and all this beautiful conscious knowledge, what would you like to develop with it? What's your dream? What's your vision?
Exactly. So I actually feel this calling to share with people that when we are aligned with this pure level of consciousness, we develop our lives, we grow in consciousness faster, and everything in our life starts flowing better, and society gets better, and the whole world also improves, because, as I said before, it's a ripple effect. That's my goal, create peace in the world, my contribution by sharing this knowledge, which is beautiful, and it's not just, as I said, something philosophical. Science has gone into research and acknowledged that it can be proven in science. For example, Transcendental Meditation has been proven to increase levels in health. For example, it lowers high blood pressure, anxiety levels, it raises coherence in the brain, and also in society, it has been proven by many research that when people together is practicing transcendental meditation, it lowers the rates of crime and hospital admissions and things like that, because it's like minds and hearts transcending together and creating this ripple effect around in a society. So this is my main purpose, my contribution in the individual, and so that each one brings their own, seed of peace to the world.
It's a very, very beautiful mission. I love it so much. And what's happening now within you on the way to that? How are you manifesting that? What is it you'd like us to know, to join you in your calling, to come to you for this kind of awareness and consciousness? And how is it impacting you and your life?
Well, it's beautiful because...
So a lot of questions in one, sorry.
It's beautiful. As we help others, we also keep growing. So that's the way, and I find it like this calling is the best because it's something timeless. It's a knowledge that you can keep studying it forever and it never ends because it's so vast. But everything connects to the same essence. Whatever brings unity is on the path of evolution. Whatever divides is ignorance. So, it's very simple, yet you can go from to analysis, analyze everything, and go back and synthesize and say, it's like back and forth. And, well, mainly this is what I love about it, and love to bring it to the people.
And for some practical kind of insights, because I feel here, this is what I do, at least in the people that I sat with, the feedback outside, we're reaching the skeptical ones, the ones who won but are afraid. Is there examples that you can share that you can say, look, I am the proof of the pudding?
The proof is in the pudding.
The proof is in the pudding, right?
Yes, exactly.
How is the pudding for you?
Yeah, well, there's
how
many.
How do you see it impacting you?
In my own life,
yes.
It's beautiful because I feel fulfilled, and I know that happiness comes from within, not from somebody telling it to me, but from my own experience.
So I love that. Just to go deeper with that, because I hear a lot of people say, I'm happy, but you can see, what does happiness mean through these tools?
Yeah.
Through the consciousness advice, through the transcendental meditation, what is your idea of happiness? I feel it in you, I see it in you through the school, but what is it like to give people a deeper understanding of happiness in contrast to what they believe is happiness, to help them to reason?
Right.
No one is right or wrong, but just to give them some depth that, look, this is happiness.
Yes, well, Maharishi Yogi says something very beautiful. The purpose of life is happiness. And also, life is, the purpose is 200%. So 100% inside and 100% outside. So having material things, because we live in this material dimension,
Yes.
reality, it's beautiful. So you can always have the purpose of having a beautiful house, trips, experiences, and like that, and a job of your dreams and so on. It's beautiful. But as I said before, these things at the end will not fulfill you if you don't go home. You have to go home, back home, and this is inside of you, where you realize that is your own self, this pure consciousness, which is the light of everyone and everything. We share it. This is spark of light, of love, which is one, the one divided in absolutely everything. And only then you can, realize, okay, I will not seek happiness anywhere, because I am actually that happiness, and it's actually a little bit sad when someone expects other people to bring you happiness, because that means they are not aware of themselves. They are not aware, like, oh, once you get there and you realize, it's like, I actually want to bring it, because that's what I am. That's exactly the reality of the things. And I'm here to experience myself, to know myself, with my own physiology, because we are all unique, and bring the best that I can to contribute to this world, and bring heaven to earth. That's the purpose. Yes.
Indeed. Wow.
Yeah.
And so I'll ask us to go like, what can you tell us is the benefits, like, for the common person going through life with stresses, with work, with bosses, with mobbing, with kids, with relationship problems, with health problems? What would this do for them?
Yes, it's, first of all, health is very important. And in order to be the best of ourselves, we need to rest. As I said at the beginning, to get rid of stresses and strains. Because stress is the first cause of illnesses and, an imbalance in our physiology. So, for example, when we practice transcendental meditation, we go to a state that is called restful alertness, which means we rest more than during our sleep hour, that during deep sleep, we get to rest even more, but we are completely aware of what's going on. So it's a fourth state of consciousness. Maharishi described 4 states of consciousness: deep sleep,
Yes.
Rest, the waking state,
Yes.
and transcendental consciousness.
Okay.
And so during transcendental meditation, you get to that state, so you can release all these stresses, and you become healthier because your body and your mind are balanced.
Okay.
And also by eating healthier.
Does the transcendental meditation, when you practice it, does it organically bring you to a state of where I want to be healthier?
Yes.
Can I ask that? Like, does it do that?
Yes, absolutely, because it makes you aware.
It makes you conscious, right? So you're tapping into the higher consciousness that says
of yourself.
The unhealthy way is no more the way.
Exactly.
Because that's an added benefit, right?
Yes. Yes. So you start to be aware of certain things you need to shift in order to become healthier. And when you become healthier, then you feel you have more energy. You want to act accordingly. And so it starts, you start to be in a virtuous circle.
Yes.
Which is what we call the wheel of progress.
Okay.
In our program of Consciousness Advisor.
Okay.
To improve, so you start improving your health. If you feel well, you go to work and you perform beautifully. some challenges that other days can be like really complicated, you can tackle them with no problem because you are creative. You see the solutions to the issues, to the problems quickly, and so on. With your relationships, you bring more. You are more patient, more tolerant. Because also in relationships, what happens when we are not tolerant? It means that our perspectives are very, very narrow. We cannot understand from broader perspective the other person. Why is that person being this way or that way? And people take it personal. Yes. So in that way, we also improve our relationships. We improve our performance in sports if it's a person that is also, doing professionally or just for fun, their sports, and all aspects of life improve. With this, with being aware of what we need to do to improve in all aspects of our lives. And so this is the way we work. The consciousness advisors. What we bring is, someone who is going with the person, accompanying the person.
So you accompany them through the journey.
Through the journey.
What does the journey look like?
Yes.
How does that happen? What does it look like for someone who wants to come and have you support them?
Yes, we first. Even writing down their goals, because the person gets aware of what they need to do, and obviously through these techniques they will start improving, and then with measurement tools. Because if you
can measure the progress.
Exactly, because otherwise what you don't measure and what you don't put your attention in, it remains the same.
Yes.
So it's pretty much like going with them. When you're going by yourself, when you're doing something, even sports, it's more difficult if there's no one.
100%. That's why even the biggest professionals have a coach.
Right.
They have someone to support them through the difficult times and the techniques, right?
Exactly. So it's like an accountability partner who is all the time following up and making sure that they achieve their goals.
Okay.
Yes. So it's really beautiful, and people love this. People love when they are seeing
something tangible. Yeah.
Exactly. Yes, in their experience, and then it unfolds, and better things start coming their way. They start feeling better and more energized, and so on, because they find in themselves this.
You speak with such a great passion. I love it, and you're so deep with your knowledge and your what you want to bring. I would ask you, what do you want people to know? How do you want them to reach out to you? Why? What will you bring them? And what's here for them from you?
Yes, the way we work is through the website. Okay. And I can share if it's okay with you. Yes.
Yes, you can say it, and I will add it to the
consciousness. It's directly in the consciousness.org website, which is the Transcendental Meditation. Okay. I am in Luxembourg, actually, the first one to launch this program in Luxembourg.
Oh, great.
Yes. And how it works is first 30 minutes session online via Zoom. Mm-hmm. I send them the link when people schedule through this website. And it's 30 minutes for free, where we can discuss about what they want to improve in their lives. Okay. And after that, it's depending on how the people want. They can have 1 session per week, 2 sessions per week, or 1 session per month. We adapt to what the person wants. Okay. And then they can stop for a while and continue after if they realize they need to improve something else in their lives, and so on. That's mainly what we offer as consciousness advisors. And for the time being, I'm only doing it online.
Okay.
And let's see further.
Okay.
Yes, what comes.
And maybe as we come to a short close, what would you say to your future self?
To my future self, keep learning, keep growing, keep evolving in unity towards love. That's the way, that's the path. And yes, keep walking towards the light of consciousness.
And as a closing message, what would you like to leave them so they remember you?
Well, I would really like to tell people, to motivate them to practice meditation, which is, for me, has been like really a life changer, transformation in my life. And also, if you'd like to contact me for having an accountability partner, it would be beautiful. I would be delighted to accompany you in this path, in this journey. Thank you so much, Lindsay.
I love what you brought, how you bring it, how you speak. It's I feel the passion coming from you and the purpose, and it's so beautiful. And from my little personal relationship, I see the embodiment of it, which for me is more authentic when you're in this kind of spiritual consciousness world, is that authenticity that you embody, which is really admirable.
Thank you.
So it's nice that you're walking the walk of the talk that you talk. Next we say, right?
Yes, well, the more that you are, again, going to that field of yourself, during the day, you are that.
But it's really beautiful to see the authenticity. I watch the spiritual world and I see a little bit incongruency in the people that bring something in relation to do they walk the talk? And I see you walking the talk, which is really admirable. So I just want to give you that as a parting gift, even though you gave me the gift of your time and sharing to the world what you're bringing. But to walk the walk in these times is not so easy. And so thank you for walking the walk. And I feel that people will feel your passion, they will feel your energy. And I feel that alone is very transformative.
Thank you so much, Lindsay. I mean, I really admire you also, all you do for your girls and your dedication. So it's such a pleasure to be talking to you, really. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, thank you so much.
Thanks for coming and thanks for listening. And I hope that you got something from this. Please reach out to Marisela anytime you need to ask more about consciousness, advising, if you need anything, and Transcendental Meditation. Reach out. She'll be happy to support you, and she has a lot to offer, much more than our limited time can allow us. Thanks for listening, and see you soon.
Thank you.